Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Bilo and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service office in Grand Junction, Colorado, and this is your November 2024 monthly climate summary. Moving right into it, for our story of the month, we have Giving Thanks for Snow. The month of November was overall a cooler and wetter month in comparison to the other fall months we've seen, and we've actually seen our biggest winter storm of the season thus far in the days leading up to Thanksgiving. So two of the busiest travel days of the year, the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving, also happen to be seeing quite a lot of snow flying along the I-70 corridor, as well as US 40 and 50. We saw a general 2 to 3 feet of snow across the higher terrain, with some of our higher elevation valleys seeing 1 to 2 feet of snow in total. Some of our desert valleys, particularly the Grand Valley, actually made off pretty well in this scenario, with generally westerly flow bringing us about an inch, give or take, of snowfall on the morning of the 27th, which was genuinely quite nice to wake up to, but not as much fun to drive into work with. It is what it is. Our big winner for the storm was the Tower Snowtail site in the Park Range to the east of Steamboat Springs and up quite a bit in elevation, where they ended the storm with a total of about 40 inches. Schofield Pass, which is another Snowtail site, made off pretty similarly and came in at second place with, I think, like 38 or 39 inches. Moving into our climate roundup for our temperatures, we have our warmest temperature of the month was 68 degrees in Grand Junction on the 15th of November, and our coolest, warmest high was 56 in Vernal on the 11th. For the most part, these temperatures are clustered right around the 15th. This was under some very strong southwesterly flow that kind of warmed everything up ahead of a winter storm in the week before Thanksgiving, which brought some substantially colder temperatures and a little bit of snow to the area. Likewise, the spots that came in with their temperatures, like on the 2nd in Craig, that was ahead of yet another different storm. Same sort of pattern. Moving into our cold temperatures, coldest low we saw this month was -8 in Craig on the 29th and the 30th of November. Warmest, coldest low was 21 in Grand Junction on the 20th and the 21st. Again, these are a little bit scattered, kind of depended on how the site responded to the cold air filtering in behind any of the given systems. You can see that the Thanksgiving storm, the post-Thanksgiving storm rather, so these ones that occurred on the 29th, and the 30th were pretty impressive. Again, the week before, the 22nd, 21st, you saw some colder temperatures. And then Meeker and Montrose actually saw their coldest temperatures at the beginning of the month with that very first storm that also gave Craig its warmest temperature. Looking at our precipitation, the month of November overall was above normal precipitation for a majority of the area. Higher elevation sites made out best. So obviously this isn't including any of our like co-op sites or Snowtail sites, that sort of thing. But if you go and take a look at the write-up that is linked in the description of this video, you can see some graphic representations of those. So maps showing where there was above normal precipitation, where there was below normal precipitation, just to kind of get a grasp of the whole area rather than just these 10 sites. Because overall the month of November was a pretty wet month. The spots that didn't make out as well being Cortez and Durango, right down south in the southern valleys, and Vernal, which Vernal's just had a very tough year as far as precipitation is concerned. Our big winner here was Aspen with just under 2.5 inches of precipitation for the month, which was almost 1.5 inches above normal. And coming in at the bottom, unfortunately, is Vernal with just 0.2 of an inch of precipitation, which is just about half of what they should have gotten, as their deficit is just over 0.2 of an inch. Moving into our drought update. So while a little bit of a mixed bag as far as our 10 climate sites are concerned, although definitely favoring above normal precipitation during the month, the drought update. This is as of December 3rd. Definitely reflects that above normal precipitation across the higher terrain that I was speaking of, where our mountain zones, for the most part, with the exception of up north, completely drought free. We do have this area of D0 abnormally dry conditions, which I like to think of in a way as like a drought watch, in that if conditions are right, it could develop into a full-blown like D1 moderate drought category. But at the same time, if we get a lot of precipitation, those favorable for drought development conditions will go away. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that pans out. We are hanging on to some D1 moderate drought right along the Utah, Colorado, Wyoming border. But for the most part, that's it. So not doing terrible at this point in the year. As far as our outlook is concerned, we're looking at pretty much status quo for the next month. That area of D1 moderate drought along the Wyoming, Utah, Colorado border is looking to stay, and everything else where we have D0 or drought-free conditions looking to maintain those. As far as our snowpack update is concerned, definitely saw a favoring this month of the southern ranges, which makes sense. We were tapping into some atmospheric river moisture, which does typically come in as a southerly or southwesterly trajectory, just because of how the terrain on the west coast works. So we saw our southern ranges, San Miguel, Dolores, Animas, San Juan, at about 140% of normal for their snowpack, Gunnison at 130%, Colorado headwaters at 115%, and the Yampa White Little Snake at just about where they should be for the season. And I do expect this to kind of switch a little bit as we are going into a weak La Nina situation, which does typically favor the northern mountains just a little bit more. But we've definitely seen La Nina years where that hasn't happened at all, including 2022, which was a big year where the San Juans definitely bore the brunt of it, even though it was a strong La Nina year. So I guess just kind of stay tuned, but at this point in the season, not doing too bad. We are near to above normal across all of the Colorado ranges. Looking at Utah, as far as the ranges in the Grand Junction area, we have southeastern Utah at about 100 to 110% of normal, Duchesne Basin at about 100% of normal, and the northeastern Uintas at about 110% of normal. And again, a lot of that has to do with just the trajectory that the storms we have been getting have taken, which has definitely favored more of the Colorado mountains than the Utah mountains. But again, that could change, and pretty easily over the course of the next couple months. So looking at our climate outlook for December, this is more of a La Nina signal, seeing below normal precipitation favored across the south and the west. A very slight favoring along the four corners for us, and into eastern Utah, that being 33 to 40% chances in favor of below normal precipitation, with equal chances of above or below normal precipitation across the rest of the area. And then a fairly strong signal for above normal temperatures here. I believe this is 50 to 60% chances in favor of above normal temperatures. So we're just gonna have to kind of keep an eye on things. This wouldn't be the first time that our climate outlook has said one thing and the weather has said a different thing. So we just have to stay tuned and fingers crossed that we do end up in something a little bit more closer to a normal pattern so that we can continue building that snowpack. And that is it for the month of November summary. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely check out some of the other videos. I have posted the fall 2024 seasonal climate summary at the same time as this one. So if you want a recap of the entire season, September, October, and November, you can go check that one out, as well as any of the write-ups associated with these videos, which kind of go into depth about some different things. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.